초콜릿은 달콤해 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 오렌지는 상큼해 상큼해 상큼해.
A Filipino who has been recognized as a national hero for his or her role in the history of the Philippines. So, lives of the prominent Filipinos in the past. Who are the prominent Filipinos and what are their significant contribution that makes them prominent or heroes of the country? So, first, Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines who fought the Spanish through his novels Nole Me Tangere and Il Filibusterismo during the Spanish conquest of the country. Next, Andres Bonifacio, the father of the Philippine Revolution. He is a Filipino revolutionary and hero who founded Kataas-Taasan Kagalang-galang ng Katipunan ng mga Anak ng Bayan, or KKK, a secret society dedicated to fighting the Spanish who occupied the Philippines. Next, General Antonio Lona. He is considered one of the bravest and best generals of the Filipino revolutionary era and one of the most admired heroes of the Philippines. Next, Apolinario Mabini, known as Dakilang Lumpo. He is known as Dakilang Paralitiko at Utak ng Revolusyon. He is one of the founder of a La Lega Filipino who supported the reform movement. Emilio Aguinaldo. He led the Philippine forces in the first battle against Spain during the last years of the Filipino Revolution and then in the Spanish-American War and against the United States during the Filipino-American War. Emilio Jacinto. Emilio Jacinto, he is one of the highest officials of the Philippine Revolution and one of the highest officials of the Katipunan. He is known in textbooks on the history of the Philippines as Utak ng Katipunan. Francisco Balagtas Baltazar. He is recognized as the Prince of Tagalog writers and he is considered the William Shakespeare of the Philippines for his contribution and influence on Filipino literature. Florante and Laura, the famous romantic romance of the 19th century, are his finest creations. Gabriela Silang. Gabriela Silang, the brave wife of the Ilocano leader of the rebels Diego Silang. Following the death of her husband, she led the group in a revolt against the Spaniards. Gom Borza refers to the three Filipino Catholic priests who were killed on February 17, 1872 in Bagumbayan by the Spanish colonial authorities on charges of embezzlement as a result of the 1872 Cavite Mutiny. Gregorio del Pilar, one of the youngest generals of the Philippines during the Filipino Revolution and the Filipino-American War. He is known for his successful attack on Spanish Again, he is known for his successful attack on Spanish barracks in Paombong at the Battle of Cuenca, in his last fight in the Battle of Tirad Pass during the Filipino-American War. Josefa Llanes Escoda, known as the leader of civic, educator, and founder of the Girl Scouts of the Philippines. During the conquest of the Japanese, he was killed on suspicion of being a sympathizer of the guerrillas. Juan Luna, Filipino painter. He is known for his picture of the Spoliarium, a sketch of dragging the corpses of gladiator losers to the Colosseum in Rome. Lapu-Lapu, considered one of the greatest figures of ancient history of the Philippines. He was one of the first to fight the conquest of Spain, which is why he killed Ferdinand Magellan. Manuel L. Quezon. He is known as the father of the Filipino language and called the father of the Republic of the Philippines. He became the first president of the Commonwealth of the Philippines under the American government at the beginning of the 20th century. Next, Marcelo H. del Pilar. He was a Filipino revolutionary propagandist and satirist. He tried to promote the patriotic sentiments of the enlightened Filipinos or bourgeoisie against Spanish imperialism. Next, Melchora Aquino. Revolutionary Filipino known as Tandang Sora because of her age. She also known as Ina ng Katipunan, Ina ng Himagsikan, at Ina ng Balintawak for her contributions. Miguel Malvar. The last Filipino general was surrendered to the Americans. After the captured General Aguinaldo, he became the new commander-in-chief of the Filipino forces. Pio Valenzuela. He joined the newly formed Katipunan and was commissioned by Bonifacio to talk to Dr. Jose Rizal about the Katipunan's plan to rise up against the Spanish authorities. Ramon Magsaysay, the 7th President of the Philippines, known as the President ng Masang Pilipino. As President, he opened the door to the citizens where they were given the opportunity to approach him directly and to give him more freedom to express their suffering. To this day, his leadership and virtue are the qualities that Filipinos look for her in a leader. Next, Teodora Alonzo, the mother of the national hero of the Philippines, which is Jose Rizal. As Rizal's first teacher, she had a significant impact on his development and inspired him to pursue a career in medicine. The last, Sultan Dipatuan Kudarat. The 7th Sultan of Maguindanao ruled from 1619 to 1671. During his reign, he successfully resisted Spanish invasions and prevented the spread of Roman Catholicism on the island of Mindanao. That's all. Thank you.